Dear audience, thank you so much for joining in for our performance of Der Vampyr by Heinrich Marschner. Now, why did we say we need to perform this piece? I think, first of all, he's a Hanover guy. He's just standing right behind this window, actually, on the square in front of the Opera House. He has a colossal statue, and he was the first ever GMD, General Music Director, in Hanover. So he's my predecessor. Not only that, though, I think the piece in itself represents a very fascinating work in between Weber and Wagner. But more than that, it's not only, say, a strange creature that you see and that you say, okay, this is where it's going, this is where it's coming from, but it has a very, very true value to itself. And I will explain you a little bit about this and show you the proof why this piece, I think, is very important. Enjoy. Now, first of all, Marschner heavily is developing the idea of a so-called leitmotif, as you probably know from Wagner. And since the opera is called Der Vampyr, of course, Der Vampyr has his very own motive, which sounds like this. So you see, it has a lot of chromaticism in it. Chromaticism meaning, in other words, using all keys on the keyboard. And it's in D minor. And since the days, or even before the days of Don Giovanni by Mozart, we know that D minor is the key for bad guys. Just compare this. Which is the overture to Don Giovanni, obviously, to this, one more time. It's very similar, I think. D minor, chromaticism, dark, mysterious. And actually this chromaticism in a minor key goes all the way to Mr. Lloyd Webber, who then composes music like this. Probably know the tune. It's the infamous overture to the Phantom of the Opera. This is the bad guy, the dark sphere, so to say. Since we spoke about harmonies or harmonic language of the piece, again, Marschner is quite remarkable in this. Let me just find this one for you. There's one remarkable romance, it's called, Romanze, which is basically a ballade in German, for Emmy and the chorus. Now, in this ballade, we enter realms of keys that are practically not unheard of. There's always been sinister, strange keys before, but still, the way that Marschner uses them here is really quite significant, I think. So we, at some point in this piece, we are in E flat minor, which already has, let me think, 6 flats. Now she goes. Okay, this is E flat minor. Now we travel E minor, F minor. Now, this is really quite something. This key is G flat minor. And trust me, that has a lot of keys and of accidentals. Now, this piece, the Romance, I think, is also remarkable because if you then compare it to a very famous song by Gustav Mahler. Now, the Mahler equivalent is Wenn mein Schatz Hochzeit macht. I'll play it in the original key. compared to Marschner, I would say it's pretty much the same, almost. And I'm almost convinced that Mahler knew Marschner's work. And I don't think he copied it, but he certainly was influenced by it. Also, Marschner's closeness to folk songs. And for somebody like Emmy, who's clearly a simple girl from the, you know, not the upper class, certainly not. And she would know bedtime stories that maybe her nanny sang to her. So she's clearly like a peasant girl. So, and that, I think, has influenced Mahler greatly, this simpleness and this purity in his songs.